because Danny impressed me. He did it. I'm a very later in life, I kind of was called to go back and take theology classes. And my wife, of course, gets told first about, yeah, we're going to do this. And I did not want to do this, to do the pastoral credentials or whatever. And one of my big critics and critiques rather, and you overcome it. And I love it. Page 62. He talks about having the sex talk. God forbid that we actually use the S word. Yes, folks, the S word. His advice is order dinner in and talk about your sex life. Just talk. What's going great? What's not? What are the solutions to create a more intimate times together? That is probably some of the best, concise 3 or 4 sentences on sex advice I've ever read in a book. And yeah, so kudos to you. I don't know. I'm gonna give it that to the pastor part of you, not so much the magic. Then again, it's kind of magical.
Yeah, we wanted to call that chapter, I think it ended up being called Mind-Blowing Bedroom Magic or something like that, but we wanted it to be called Mind-Blowing Sex. But publishers, they're like, I feel like that's a little too strong. But it is the next chapter. I'm sure some people will skip and just read that one. And then the other one they'll probably skip to is How to Read My Spouse's Mind. Those are 2 things that we're trying to figure out, I think, in relationships a lot of times.
But this is such a topic that pastors shy away from, youth pastors criminally shy away from. And you just kind of go headstrong into let's talk about this. And not only should you talk about this, you should be regularly talking about this. This is it's just so important. And I think it's fantastic to see that. And I'd love to just kind of speak to that topic a little bit more and give people some advice on trying to overcome some of the hurdles that they've put in front of themselves, or pastors have put in front of themselves, or just they believe the church has put in front of them. I don't know, all of it, really.
Yeah. It's a difficult topic, I think, for a lot of people to address. But it's when you look at the scriptures, there's people having sex, people are procreating, people are having relationships that way. But in our churches, it is a rare thing that we talk about it. But in our relationships, or I'll just say with my spouse, with Kimberly, is it something from the beginning we started to struggle with? I think, we talk about in the book that, she would tell me no, and I would feel like that hurt. I'd feel like disappointed. I'd feel rejected. And we saw this as a pattern. And we're like, okay, how do we break this cycle? And so we ended up in counseling and found out that this cycle can be broken, of this saying no and me feeling disappointed. And what we found is that it's kind of like the argument for the fine-tune argument of the universe, where it's basically like there's thousands of little tiny things that if they weren't in perfect order, our whole universe would fall apart. So like if our Earth is tilted, if it was tilted like 1 degree more, it would spin out of control. If the moon was a mile further away, it wouldn't do what needs to be done in terms of orbiting, and all those like fine-tuned things tell us that there's a creator that's interested and loves us. And with sex, there's fine-tuning in our relationship, where my needs for sexual intimacy are higher than my wife's, so hers are here, but we learn to sacrifice on both ends. Like I learned to go, okay, she still loves me, and it's okay that she tells me no. And she learns to go like, maybe I don't want to right now, but I'm going to work towards, being intimate with him now. And so we've learned to both sacrifice that way. And then she's learned to give me hope. If she tells me, hey, tomorrow night would be great, that gives me hope. And so I have something to look forward to instead of it just being no. And so I don't know what the solutions exactly are for you, but I know having those conversations that are difficult to have with one another helps to set a new tone for how we talk about intimacy in our relationship.
Well, and I think the biggest thing that you started out with was just first acknowledging that there's a difference, right? Men and women are completely wired differently about this. The world knows this. You see it all the time, right? Men are visual. You see half-naked women on magazines in the grocery store, to the point now where some of them have visors put up to help minimize exposure to young children and other folks. And then, of
Right.
course, the emotions and feelings and sort of a journey, if you will, for a lady is so much more important than it is for us. And it's great. Look, again, it's a topic, folks, that's so important in your marriage. Like I said, I can't recommend it enough. I think Danny's work and Kimberly's contribution to that is definitely felt in definitely in many of the chapters. But that one, it seems like something unique arrives there in those pages, and I'm very happy to have Danny expound on that and share more about it. So